Well, I guess we should. I guess we should actually record.
Literally been an hour and a half. I need to pee really bad. I've gotten through
Okay.
half of this iced coffee already.
I will also pee then.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. I'm Blair.
And I'm Kirsten, and we are mediocre content. And I'm so sorry about last week.
I was dying. It was
You
my
were.
fault.
You were. No. No. We were. If you come here expecting anything higher than mediocrity, are you even listening to the right podcast?
It's true.
I mean,
It's
just
true.
do a deep dive mentally on that. But yeah, sorry about not having an episode last week, but I think we just held you in suspense for this week.
Yes. And did you hear how clean that intro was? I mean, we're ready. We're
Clean.
We're back in action.
I will prepare myself to have to do all the edits later now that we have jinxed it.
Right? Oh my gosh.
But without further ado, I mean, we've held them on for like a week. So
no, it's true.
If you want to,
all right.
Yeah.
So obviously nothing has changed. If you come here to, get information for your research paper, we are not the place for that. If you've come here to get any kind of advice or any info related to advice, don't do that.
No.
But we are the place to learn about things that you may not necessarily come across in your day-to-day life. And we encourage you to do your own research alongside us and let us know what you find or what you don't find. That works too.
We've just made stuff up now.
Yes.
Good luck figuring out where the lie is.
That's right. It's Two Truths and a Lie podcast version.
But the whole pod is a mystery. Oh my God. Okay, well, I do have good news this week.
Yay.
Of course, some of it is space news, sort of.
I mean, you're
yeah.
the resident space expert, so I feel like
we just went through the disclaimer.
I mean, of the two of us, of the people on this podcast right now, you are the space expert.
I will say for this one, we are still on Earth talking about space-ish news, and it's not like we're in deep space here. So, Oregon Outback named the world's largest dark sky sanctuary, or, in other words, a stargazer's paradise. So pretty. So Oregon is now the new home of the world's 19th dark sky sanctuary, offering pristine views of the night sky across 3,800 square miles, and it is the largest of its kind. The certification issued by Dark Sky International, who knew that was a thing, involved a years-long effort by federal, state, and local officials, community members, and several legal jurisdictions.
Wow.
The first zone of the total amount of area submitted for certification comprises 2.5 million acres in Lake County, southeastern Oregon, and the certified area is about 1/2 the size of New Jersey, for reference, in a region frequently referred to as Oregon Outback. This is not the steakhouse. This is not a restaurant. This is a physical place.
Plot twist. There is an Outback Steakhouse in the vicinity.
Ooh. Could you imagine? That'd be perfect.
Oh my God.
And it is considered a paradise for stargazers because, if completed, the full Oregon Outback International Dark Sky Sanctuary, with it's a mouthful and is abbreviated OOIDSS, will encompass over 11.4 million acres of voluntarily protected night skies. Now,
Wow.
what do you mean, like, protected night skies? The sky is there all the time, Kirsten. What are you talking about? Well, thank you for asking, Blair.
You're welcome.
So, if you don't know, there is such a thing called light pollution. And if you live in a big city, you kind of know what this is. Or if you live around a big city, I mean, if you're out in the sticks and you look off into the city, you're going to see kind of like this illumination in the sky. That is considered light pollution. So, founded in 2001, the International Dark Sky Places program, who knew that was a thing, is a non-regulatory and voluntary program to encourage communities, parks, and protected areas around the world to preserve and protect dark sites through effective lighting policies, environmentally responsible outdoor lighting, and public education. Their work has created a network of dark sky places, sanctuaries, and parks that encompass over 160,000 square kilometers in 22 countries worldwide. The Oregon Outback is situated in the northern extent of the Basin and Range province of the western United States. And if you don't know a lot about the western United States, it's very flat. We have a lot of sandy, desert-like areas, and it's like the perfect place to go if you want just open skies, honestly. So this is kind of a really great place for it. And people do live there, but not like in the hills necessarily.
Not in the same way people live in the way that people live in Manhattan. It's
right. Right. Thank you for clearing that up. That was like, how can I compare this? So in turn, it's sparsely populated, rather remote, and usually comprised of public lands. It's that high desert area, and it's characterized by sage scrub and abrupt changes in topography. And that's kind of like the iconic, when you think of like moving west and like the American whatever, that's kind of what you think about, basically, is what it looks like. Public officials and a variety of other stakeholders participated in night sky monitoring, lighting inventories, lighting improvements, and public outreach to bring the nomination together. Phase 2 of it includes portion of Harney and Malheur counties, and these are to the east of Lake County. Only a few lighting retrofits and local approvals are outstanding in the Phase 2 area, which would need to be addressed in order for this whole thing to kind of kick off. Other famous dark sky parks in the United States include the national parks in Utah, Big Cypress National Preserve in Florida, and Big Bend National Park in Texas. And so, look, long story long. This is good because outside of just generally people wanting to stargaze, I mean, this isn't as like dreamy as it sounds necessarily. It actually impacts the wildlife and things that live in those areas that have become so overwhelmed with light. So, a good example of animals that need darkness is bats. Bats need a lot of darkness. They're nocturnal. Some bats are nocturnal by nature. We actually did an episode on stream about bats, which is really fun. But they need nocturnal areas to be. Your raccoons are also normally nocturnal, although they might steal your cat food if you leave it out on the porch. The bottom line is a lot of animals have been displaced or have, in some areas I have read as well, have adopted weird behaviors because of light pollution and the inconsistencies that they are now living in when it comes to like their normal circadian rhythms and things. So by eliminating this, number one, we don't have to deal with it, but also number two, the animals may also have a chance to kind of return to their natural rhythms, which is great because environment 110%. So while kind of spacey, it's not 100% spacey. Spacey, you're going to see the stars. Non-spacey, we're protecting the environment.
You're so right.
Yeah. And then another bit of good news is also kind of environmentally exciting. If you live in Florida, or even if you don't, you may be familiar with the Everglades. And there is now the largest environmental restoration happening to restart the heart of the Everglades. So 24 years ago, a fledgling Good News Network reported on a vote in Congress to restore the Florida Everglades. Representative Clay Shaw, who left office in 2007 and who passed away a decade ago, RIP, called the plan the biggest environmental restoration project in the history of the world at the time, which aimed to undo the Army Corps of Engineers' Drain the Everglades project, which had started in 1949. Today, That plan is now in full effect with over 60 infrastructure projects earmarked for $20 billion that will perform ecosystem-wide heart bypass surgery. That's just to state its severity in like the state that the Everglades are in.
Hmm.
They
Hmm.
wanted it to be explosive. The Florida fiscal year 2024 budget alone included $740 million for this kind of work, which the Everglades Foundation, of course, applauded. As featured in CBS Mornings, the Drain the Everglades project disconnected Lake Okeechobee from feeding the Everglades ecosystem. This large lake would gradually feed the 300-mile wide river of grass that is the Everglades, but of course, when it was removed, the water quality and quantity would decline a lot. And that's part of the issues that they're now experiencing. So, as wet as it is, South Florida has experienced a catalog of environmental problems stemming from this loss of water, and this includes seagrass die-offs, exacerbation of red tide, which you should look up if you don't know what it is, wildfires, of course, that's the biggest thing that you probably hear about in the Everglades, and blue-green algal blooms. Reconnecting the lake to the millions of acres its waters helps refresh to aim modern-day restoration efforts. So the first step was to build a large reservoir south of the lake, which was partially completed already. And the next will be to raise up the Miami, that's
Mm. Hmm.
Miami? I don't know. It's a road. And excuse me, an east-west byway that cuts significant water flow off to the southern Everglades. Florida's sugar plantations are also an impediment to this restoration work, and runoff from the agricultural fields would otherwise contaminate them. The state has responded by building the largest man-made wetland on Earth to capture the runoff, and this is about 63,000 acres.
Nice.
The construction was paid for upfront by the state, with polluters footing the financing in the form of pollution tax, levied particularly hard on the large sugar plantations, of course, because that's where a lot of it's coming from. That's where the runoff is coming from.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's estimated that the reservoir will be finished by 2036, so actually kind of within our lifetime, which makes me want to throw up. But anyway, and restoration participants believe it won't be for another 15 years that the landscape and, of course, the people of South Florida will really begin to experience the benefits of the projects. These are small incremental steps, but they are instrumental to that ecosystem. And hopefully we will no longer hear about Everglade fires because that's super sad.
That is super sad.
There's a lot of plants and animals there too that would benefit from that. But anyway, that's the good news. All environmental. You know how I do.
Yeah. Very nice. Thank you, Kirsten.
Of course.
We always appreciate your environmental updates.
But now,
But now.
we talk about the children. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I mean, kinda.
All right.
In fairness, I cannot have a single weekend without seeing a sign for Girl Scout cookies. That's all I'm saying.
Well, that's great. I'm so happy for you.
Are you? I'm not happy for my waistline.
Well, you're supporting young female entrepreneurs.
I
So it's
am.
fine.
I can't stand the popcorn though. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay. So we're not talking about Boy Scouts. We're only going to talk about Girl Scouts because I found so much information on their website. Like they have, it's ridiculous. Like I went onto so many deep dives. Like it's just,
So do we need a second
Crazy.
episode for the Boy Scouts?
we do. We're going to need a second episode for the Boy Scouts
I'll make the edit.
because the Boy Scouts are only mentioned briefly in the very beginning, and that's it.
No problem. We'll call this one Scouts Honor Girl Scouts Edition.
Yes, that's right.
Bring on the cookies.
So, we're just going to start at the very beginning. A very good place to start, some would say. Specifically Julie Andrews in The Sound of Music, but that's neither here nor there. In the 1910s is where we'll start, and the decade in which the Girl Scouts were born. So, a meeting in 1911 with Sir Robert Baden-Powell, the founder of the Boy Scouts, inspired Juliette Gordon Low to establish the Girl Scouts the following year, so in 1912. In a time of cultural change, but before women had the right to vote, Girl Scouts emphasized inclusiveness, the outdoors, self-reliance, and service. Very
Very
exciting.
cute.
Give me one moment. I'm going to switch my headphones to a different thing because I thought I liked it better this way and I don't. So I'm going to just like play some
Live edit.
elevator music during this
Oh.
time.
Do 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 do. Y'all see that weather out there? Do 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 do. The weather is amazing.
Okay, that's much better. Thank you so
Fantastic.
much.
You're welcome.
Moving right along, this is going to go by decades, so I won't. Moving right along to the 1920s, the first Girl Scout troops were launched outside the United States in China, Syria, and Mexico. Additionally, one of the earliest Native American Girl Scout troops formed on the Onondaga Reservation in New York State in 1921. The American Mexican girls formed a Girl Scout troop in Houston, Texas in 1922. Lone troops on foreign soil, later called the USA Girl Scouts Overseas, registered its first Girl Scout troop in Shanghai, China, with 18 girls in 1925. And we'll talk about the Girl Scouts Overseas in our fun facts portion of this episode.
Perfect.
In the 1930s, throughout the Great Depression, Girl Scouts participated in relief efforts by collecting clothing and food for those in need. To meet the needs of the waves of new immigrants, Girl Scouts began printing its, quote, "Who are the Girl Scouts?" promotional booklet in Yiddish, Italian, and Polish.
That's a lot of languages.
I know.
Hmm.
I know.
Oh, geez.
During World War II, Girl Scout troops operated bicycle courier services, ran farm aid projects, and collected fat and scrap metal. Grew victory gardens, as well as sponsored defense institutes that taught women survival skills and techniques for comforting children during air raids. Japanese American girls confined to internment camps in Utah and California also established troops.
Nice.
Yes. Sad about the internment camps, but glad they had the Girl Scouts, I guess.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
In the 1950s, Girl Scouts responded to the Korean War by assembling kits for Korea, quote unquote, pouches of items needed by Korean citizens. They also continued to push for inclusiveness and equality, with Ebony magazine reporting in 1952 that even in the South, quote, Girl Scouts were making slow and steady progress towards surmounting the racial barriers of the region.
That's a big statement.
It's a big statement.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. So in the 60s, Girl Scouts held speak out conferences around the country to lend their voices to the fight for racial equality, launched the, quote, Action 70 project to help overcome prejudice and build better relationships between people, and viewed the Apollo 12 moon landing at Cape Kennedy, Florida, as guests of NASA.
That's
so
super
obviously
cool.
not all of the Girl Scouts.
Obviously.
There's a lot of them. But
Obvious.
like, I would say some select troops probably were there.
That's still cool.
As you can tell, this is a very sweeping generalization of like what happened in the decade.
Aren't all of our pods a sweeping
Right.
generalization
Right.
of what happened, in fairness?
So in the 1970s, Girl Scouts elected its first African-American national board president. Gloria D. Scott stood up for environmental issues by launching the National Eco Action Program and helped Vietnamese refugee children adapt to their new homes in America. In the 80s, interest in Girl Scouting expanded, and Girl Scouts established the Daisy level for kindergarten-aged girls.
Cute.
The highest award a senior or ambassador Girl Scout can earn was renamed the Gold Award in 1980. Troops also distributed the Contemporary Issues series that addressed some of the most serious issues teen girls of the day were confronting, including drug use, child abuse, and teen pregnancy.
That's nice to have another advocate, and it's strictly for females, which is fantastic
Right,
for that
right.
that time frame as well.
Yeah. Well, and we'll get into it. They have like a
Yeah.
whole research institute.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So in the 1990s, as use of
You got it.
use of personal computers grew, Girl Scouts introduced the technology badge for Girl Scout juniors, while also tackling illiteracy with the Right to Read Service Project, which nearly 4 million Girl Scouts and leaders participated in.
Amazing.
In the early 2000s, Girl Scouts entered the first decade of the new millennium focused on healthy development of girls, establishing Girl Scout Research Institute to conduct studies and report findings. We also continue to emphasize inclusiveness by hosting a national conference on Latinas in Girl Scouting, and in 2005, selecting the first Hispanic as chair of the national board, whose name is Patricia Diaz-Dennis.
Oh, so nice.
Indeed.
So inclusive.
A little aside about the Girl Scout Research Institute.
Yes, please tell me.
So, it basically its function is to deliver data-driven insights across the Girl Scout movement and beyond. They measure the impact of Girl Scouting and conduct original research on girls' leadership, healthy development, and well-being. And these reports inform programming, public policy, and advocacy for Girl Scouting.
Nice.
So some of the, I guess, examples of some of the stuff that they put out would be, so studies about the impact of Girl Scouting. So some of the studies are called like the impact of Girl Scout in STEM programming. And Girl Scout alum difference. So like the ones that have gone through the entire program and how they are affecting Girl Scouts today / doing in life.
Nice.
Benefits of being a Girl Scout volunteer, Girl Scout alums take action. 4 ways Girl Scouts build girl leaders in the outdoors.
Nice.
Nice. And studies
and those are recent.
Yeah. And studies that are published about girls in the United States. There's some on mental health, breaking into cybersecurity as a career field for girls, entrepreneurial efforts for women in the United States, and supporting girls in digital leadership. And I know these titles kind of sound like not researchy very much in my opinion, but when you click on it'll come with like a PDF and it'll tell you like what the study was done and like how it has been put forth into the communities and things like that, and like what the plan is. They're really well organized and well researched. I was kind of shocked, to be honest with you. Like
that's girl power right there.
I was really expecting like just a pamphlet on like mental health, but it's like how mental health and like what ages mental health are like how it's impacting girls in America, and like how does social media affect it, and how does X, Y, and Z, and like friend groups, and like how Girl Scouts can be helpful in that situation, and blah blah blah.
That's
so
amazing.
It's really interesting. It's cool. And like obviously I won't go into all of them, but that is just some of the things that you can look at. They have like a ton of stuff. So
I love that it's these amazingly like very cute titles, and then it's like, but wait, we have done our work.
Right.
I love that is womanhood right there.
Literally. Yeah. It gives very Elle Woods. It really does.
I love that reference.
Yeah. Okay. So in the 2010s, Girl Scouts turned 100.
Wow.
So in 2012, I believe. Celebrating its centennial on March 12th, 2011.
Yeah.
In 2014, Girl Scouts launched Digital Cookie, through which Girl Scout cookies were sold online by girls for the first time in history, an iconic cookie program.
So dangerous.
I went through and like looked. You can buy cookies online.
Sure can.
Just so everyone's aware.
We are not gatekeeping.
This is neither good nor bad information. This is just information that we are giving you.
What if they ship internationally?
That is unclear at this time.
I'll look it up.
Yeah. Now, even as technology plays a larger and larger role in Americans' lives, Girl Scouts also stay connected to nature and the great outdoors. So while Girl Scouts are introduced new badges to promote outdoor activities. We've also partnered with Google to make a code program, or made with code program, which encourages girls to get an early start in computer science.
That's
So,
awesome. See,
yeah,
girls in STEM, girls in programming, this is
it's
what we
great.
need, you know?
Yeah, it's cool. Um, so here are some fun facts. Like I said, we would loop back around. Um, Girl Scouts Overseas is
Mhm.
a USA Girl Scout Overseas program, which has provided the Girl Scout program for American girls living outside the United States since 1925. Typically, this means girls who are living outside of the country because their parents are in the military.
Wow.
Yeah. So they serve 17,000 members in 91 countries, including the Federated States of Micronesia, the Marshall Islands, and Guam.
Wow.
Originally established to support Girl Scouting in American military families living abroad,
Mhm.
USA Girl Scouts Overseas today has membership that is approximately 50%, 56% non-military and 44% military.
That's amazing. See, and that's the thing. If you're not familiar with the military, it can be really taxing on the families, especially the kids. So to
Yeah,
have this outlet, to have this opportunity is fantastic for them and the family.
totally. Totally. The other thing that I thought was really cool, this is my second fun fact, is that the Girl Scouts have 5 world centers,
Wow.
which are run by the World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts. So
Fancy.
they have one in Mexico, in Switzerland, in London, um, and India, and many travel like a traveling location across Africa.
Oh, that's nice. That's really nice. Yeah.
Yes, you can indeed get a pen pal. If you are in Girl Scouts, you can get a pen pal from
Ah,
any of these locations.
I want a pen pal. Wait a
Hmm.
minute.
Yeah, I think it's frowned upon if old people do it. Just saying.
Oh, wait a minute.
I
I guess you're my pen pal now. Enjoy.
am. I am. Also, the World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts comprises of 153 member organizations that promote mutual understanding and cross-cultural opportunities for for girls around the world. Girl Scouts of the USA is one of the 153 organizations. Each member organization creates its own programs and pursues advocacy efforts based on the needs of issues in the
Hmm.
particular country in which they
Hmm.
operate. Um, yeah. And
Nice.
it should be, let's see. So they say that like the World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts
Hmm.
um relationship with the United States Girl Scouts is like similar if you think about it from like the United Nations to the United States, like
Mm-hmm.
the World Association being much larger, and
Hmm.
like the US Girl Scouts just operate within that.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, just like a fun little tidbit. And the last fun fact I have for you guys is Girl Scouts make about $800 million per year
Holy
in cookie
crap.
sales,
That's a
according
lot of
to their
cookies.
website.
That's insane.
Um, all of the money, according to the website, all of the money stays within like local regions to
Hmm.
help the local communities and the local troops. So it was really hard. I found the $800 million figure on a third party
Hmm.
article because it was really hard to find on their website like the
Hmm.
exact amount because they divided up in between like the different localities and regions and stuff. So
Yeah.
there's no like one particular
Right. Yeah.
vibe. Also, I don't think they're trying to like really advertise
I
that.
was gonna say, I don't know if they'd be putting that out there, honestly, but it makes a
Yeah,
lot of sense.
right. And so they're on track, according to the third party article, they're on track to make over $1 billion in 2024
Holy
in cookie
cow.
sales.
This does not surprise. I was not kidding when I tell you every weekend this entire winter they have been posted up at every like
Mm-hmm.
corner store.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I say
Yeah.
they. The dads with the signs, you are
The, da-
freaking killing it out there.
the
You
dads.
are dancing your way to $1 billion, and I will fling that money for a box of cookies.
Hashtag girl dads.
Hashtag girl dads.
So on average, 200 million boxes of cookies are sold. Extra cookies do not go to waste. They're actually donated. And so the troops are encouraged
Mm-hmm.
to donate them to their local food banks, homeless shelters, whatever,
Nice.
whatever it is.
Yeah. Nice.
And that is a good transition because in the next half, we're exclusively going to be talking about cookies.
So happy.
I also realized going through this that I did not really do a good breakdown of like the different levels of Girl Scouting because I know what they are and I just like assume everybody else does, but they don't. So just a brief recap. The kindergarten level is what's considered a daisy. Their uniforms are blue and they're really cute. The like grade school level is a brownie and their uniforms are brown and they have all the badges and the cute little vest and it's really cute. We love. And then I think it's juniors, I think, and they have green. And then after that, I don't know.
After that, you're on your own.
After that, I think that's like middle school, high school, and then after that, you're done.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And that is the extent of my knowledge on Girl Scouts.
Were you a Girl Scout?
I was not. I had a lot of friends. So the other thing I realized in doing this research, so the Girl Scout organization is very open to like a lot of to all religions. Like they're all very accepting of all religions regardless. However, they do have ties to the Catholic Church.
Oh, okay.
Which I didn't realize, but makes a lot of sense because the Catholic school that I did go to, they had a huge Girl Scout thing and like all my friends were in it. But I lived at the time, I didn't live like locally where I was going to school. And I had like sports and other things that I was doing. So my mom was like, we're not doing that. That's like too much.
That's a lot.
But yeah, they would always like come to school wearing their uniforms if they had like stuff after school that they needed to do for Girl Scouts, and they would do like projects for the school and all that kind of stuff. It was very cool, very
Cute.
interesting. Yeah.
Well,
I was always jealous of their little patches.
Gotta catch them all.
Right. So yeah.
That's exciting.
I know.
It's wonderful that they have programs like this, and that's all beautiful and lovely. I am here for the cookies.
Oh, 1,000%. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll catch you guys in the second half where we will be partaking in cookie talk.
Yes, we will.
Hey man, did you hear Mediocre Content Podcast has more social platforms now?
Whoa, no way. What do they need those for? I thought they barely had an email.
Not sure, but they gotta be Delulu if they think that many people are trying to find them.
Exactly. Well, I guess we should play into their delusion then. Here are the ways you can contact the NCP host, if you really want to.
Connect with NCP on Gmail, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you want to listen to podcasts.
Or you can find all of their contacts by visiting Linktree/Mediocre Content Podcast.
Now good luck in the second half of the pod. You'll need it.
Welcome back.
Blair's crunching some ice.
I am. Yeah.
Crunch that ice.
This is ASMR. No, I'm just
Oh
kidding.
my goodness.
So like promised, we were going to talk about cookies. So just some things up front that we've already kind of touched on. So you can order Girl Scout cookies online. Is this dangerous? Yes. Have I done this? No. For my safety and the safety of my household, I have not done this.
Oh my, it's so true though. The way in which things are so accessible these days.
I know.
So
it's
bad.
terrible. Also, the full ingredients and info about the companies that bake Girl Scout cookies are on the Girl Scout website. So
Nice.
if y'all have any questions, I tried to like kind of give you a little bit of a breakdown here. But if you have any further questions, that information is readily available.
Love.
Some key things that I thought were pertinent. Girl Scout cookies do not contain high fructose corn syrup.
Nice.
which is kind of nice.
Mm-hmm.
And all the cookies are made once a year to ensure freshness. So the
Nice.
bakeries that make them only make them once a year. The box is stamped for that year. Other
Mhm.
and then otherwise they're like donated or gotten rid of somehow.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And then there's also, so there should be an expiration date or like a made by or
Mhm.
like made this year, and
Mhm.
then an expiration date and then a freeze by date as well.
Yes.
Like freeze them.
Honestly, you should do that anyway if you like the Thin Mints. That's all I'm gonna
That's
say.
right. It's so true. And then Girl Scout cookie pricing is in fact done by region. I think we talked about this.
We have, because it is now
a while.
$5 a box here.
Yeah. So it's done by region and not like across the board, like on a national level. And that's just because it costs. So all of the cells are done by the individual troops,
Mm-hmm.
and every place has like a different economy, right?
Yep.
Each state almost. So it's based on the Girl Scout Council of that area or region, and they determine the pricing. So
Didn't
if
you say
don't-
yours was $6?
Yeah, ours
Yeah.
is 6, but we're in California, so like it's way more
Well,
expensive to be here.
And
So
when I was in school, we were in Virginia and they were $4 a box. So that makes sense because the economies are crazy. But now we're in the Northeast, so they're $1 more, and that makes a lot of sense.
yeah,
Also terrible,
So,
but yeah.
just yeah. So if you don't like the pricing of your Girl Scout cookies,
Drive to another
move.
state. No, I'm just kidding.
Right.
Drive to a state where it might be less expensive.
That's right. So the other thing that we have talked about before
Mm.
is, why do some cookies look the same but have different names?
Yes, this drives Tyler crazy, actually.
I know, it's
This is-
wild. And I
yeah.
didn't realize, I thought, so this is okay. So this is the reasoning. Each Girl Scout Council contracts with one of the 2 bakers that the National Girl Scout Company, like,
Ah.
what is the word? Orders from, I guess. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Whose recipe and ingredients may differ slightly. There's ABC Bakers and Little Brownie Bakers. Those are the 2 companies. That's why some of our cookies look the same but have 2 different names, whether the package says peanut butter patties or tagalongs or
Mhm.
Samoas or caramel delights. The
Mhm.
cookies are similarly delicious.
Mm.
Contact your local Girl Scout council to find out which Girl Scout cookies are available. I will say I have had Samoas and caramel delights. Both are generally the same.
I can say, having issues with peanut butter patties versus tagalongs, they are not the same, at least in
Okay.
our experience. Number one, they taste different. And number two, they actually make Tyler sick if they're the peanut butter patties. The
Oh.
tagalongs don't make him sick.
Interesting.
Isn't that weird? They can't
Yeah.
be that different.
It could. I mean, like I said, all of the ingredients lists are available on the website.
That's
So
crazy.
do what you
I'm,
can do.
but it's good to know that it's literally just different bakers. So if we were to go back, somewhere
Somewhere
else,
else.
they might
Mhm.
have tagalongs.
Well, and I thought, because we purchased in California,
mm-hmm.
so like in Virginia when we purchased
Mhm.
Samoas, they were called
Right.
Samoas.
Samoas
right?
and tagalongs. Yep.
Right. And then so we moved to California, hadn't bought Girl Scout cookies out here before, and we got caramel delights. And I'm like, oh, well, maybe they changed it because like Samoa is like a
Right. But it's just a different
island
company.
out in the middle of the Pacific, and maybe they thought that was culturally insensitive. No, it's just because it's a different baker.
It's just a different baker. Now I want to look into it though. I wonder
Yeah.
which one does which, because that's really telling.
Yeah.
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 Interesting.
So anyway,
Problem solved.
I
Honestly.
know. I'm just out here
It's-
answering your
Yeah.
deepest, darkest questions.
Honestly, it would have kept me up another night.
I know. If you're looking for gluten-free Girl Scout cookies, you can try the Toffee Tastic. I've never had them, but they're gluten-free, and the caramel chocolate chip
That
is also
sounds good.
gluten-free. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Vegan, if you're vegan, you can have Thin Mints, peanut butter patties, lemonades, and Toast Yay cookies.
Question.
Yes.
Can they also have the tagalongs then? They
No,
probably have to check the
they're
list.
because they're not vegan.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So it might be different.
So everybody be careful. Make sure it's the right one if you're vegan.
yeah.
Wow.
Be very careful. Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Be careful. if you're looking for kosher or halal, you can try all of them because all of Girl Scout cookies are kosher and halal.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Very inclusive also.
I thought so.
Love that.
So now
Mhm.
we have, and Kirsten, you might want to pull up the website for this.
Oh, okay.
Because I want to try and rate them 1 to 10. I haven't had all of them though, so we're just gonna have to like go on vibes.
Okay.
Have you had all of the Girl Scout cookies?
Definitely not.
Okay.
No.
I have my standbys, obviously, which
Okay.
is Thin Mints and Samoas, right? Like obviously.
Yeah. Okay. What part of the website do I need to be
So
on?
there should be
Oh,
a tab
flavors.
that says cookies.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
I found it. Look, they even have cute little. Oh, you guys can't look, but if you do want to look, go to their website and under cookies you can click flavors, and they have little pictures of all of them.
Uh-huh.
That's so cute.
And like a little description, which I'm going to read.
Perfect. Oh, also,
So,
little
yes.
side note, it's
Mhm.
so cute also that the packaging matches the color that is behind the cookie on the website. I would just like to say.
Yes.
That's very cute. Sorry, go ahead.
You're welcome. Yes. Okay. So the first one that I want to talk about are Adventurefuls, which I have literally never heard of, but
Me
are a
neither.
Girl Scout cookie apparently.
Hmm.
They are an indulgent brownie inspired cookie topped with caramel flavor cream with a hint of sea salt, which sounds amazing.
It does, actually.
And if you've ever had, for the listeners, if you've ever had one of those cookies that people make like in during the holidays where there's like the peanut butter cookie with the Hershey Kiss in the middle, it's like that, except
so
the Hershey Kiss is
Upside down.
like flat.
yeah.
Yeah. And then there's caramel drizzle on top.
Love.
Okay. But it's like the flavor, that's not the flavor, but it's just like the visual. for you
Right,
guys.
right.
Yeah. I would probably rate this just based on vibes like a 7 out of 10.
Oh, really? See, my thing, I don't really like salt. Like when you have salted caramel, I hate that. Get the salt out of my caramel. I'm not that person. So while I might like these, I'm probably going to give it a 4 just because of that. On vibes only. Obviously, I have
On
not had
vibes,
these.
yeah. On vibes only. On vibes only. That's so interesting though that you don't like salt in
I
your caramel
don't.
because you are like more of a savory than
I
sweet.
am. And I think that's the problem. Like, keep the sweet out of my salt and vice
Oh, you
versa.
like okay, so
Yes.
you like it separate. I
Yeah.
see.
Like, I don't really
see.
like chocolate covered pretzels.
Oh,
Right.
interesting.
Sorry
no,
if
that
I
makes
triggered
sense.
someone.
No,
But-
it's fine. You're just lame. It's fine though.
Oh, savage. That's not
okay.
very girl empowerment.
All right. We're not talking about that right now. We're talking about cookies. It's different.
That's fair.
All right. So all right, 7 out of 10, 4 out of 10. Moving on. Number 2 is the caramel chocolate chip cookies, which are gluten-free, as we mentioned before.
Also never heard
Chewy.
of it though.
I know. Chewy cookies. Ooh, that's a good thing. Chewy
I do like the
cookies
chewy, yeah.
with rich caramel. And I'm sorry if you say it caramel, but I just can't. I know
It's
that's how some
okay.
people say it.
I say caramel too. Don't worry about it.
I don't know. It's where I grew up, and that's how we say it. Anyway, semi-sweet chocolate chips and a hint of sea salt.
Again with the freaking sea salt.
I know.
Get the salt out of my. Well, actually, you need salt to bake. Don't get me wrong, but I should not taste it.
Do
Okay.
you know what we should have done?
Hmm.
I should have been more prepared for this episode, and I should have just ordered all of them and
You
like
know-
ordered you all of them.
We
and
could
then
have
could
tasted
taste
them.
together. Yeah.
Actually, here's what we could do. We could
Hmm.
do a Girl Scout cookie reboot, buy the boxes, and do a stream together where we could show you what they all look like.
Yes.
And eat them with you. Also, if you like eating ASMR, that'll be a great time for you to be here. And we could show you all the pictures. And also, I noticed, side note, it appears that they do tell you which company on the site makes
Yeah.
the different types. So then we
Yep.
could also show you, like, if you like Caramel Delights, but you don't like Samoas, make sure this region is the one that carries it, and this is the company that would.
Yeah.
So maybe we do that, and then we could,
Mhm.
you know, first of all, we're supporting the Girl Scouts, and second of all, we get to eat cookies.
This is the best idea we've ever had. I think.
It is. I'll write it down.
Okay.
See you at
Well,
stream.
and pay attention to our Instagram, and we'll let you
Yes.
guys know.
Yes, we got to wait for the. We would have to wait for the shipment to come in, of course.
Right. No,
So,
exactly.
yeah.
So it won't be like right away.
Yeah.
Okay. So what would you rate this one, you think?
I'm gonna have to go with. Okay, maybe I'll give it a 5 because I do. The chewy Chips Ahoy cookies are my favorite. Okay, so if these feel the same in terms of texture, despite the sea salt, I will give it a 5
Okay.
on vibes only.
No, on vibes. On vibes only, absolutely. I think I'm gonna do 6 out of 10.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
And again, it's hinging on texture. I
Yes.
think if we were able to try it and it was
Yes.
good,
Yes.
then I think yeah.
I'm gonna expand on our idea.
Okay.
We should have the mediocre husbands do it with us.
Oh my gosh, yes.
That would be perfect.
It would be so perfect.
Okay.
And I'm gonna write down our rankings now so that
Okay,
way,
yes.
like we can go back and
be like,
see if we
reference
were
it.
right or not. Yeah, just based on vibes.
This is so fun.
So, Loki, this is how we plan our podcast. We like do it while we're recording a podcast.
We will talk for nothing for hours and have an idea in the middle at some point, and it's like an
Yeah.
epiphany.
Right. Yeah, and just for reference, we did talk for an hour and a half before this about like other random crap that we had nothing to do with the podcast at all.
Absolutely, because so productive.
It's so productive. All right. Okay, so Caramel Delights / Samoas. They are the crisp cookies with caramel, coconut, and chocolatey stripes. Everybody knows these. It is
Mhm.
it is a very popular type. I have had these in the freezer. They are very good. Out of the freezer, they are very good. I could not find a difference between either one, and I've had both. I've had the Caramel Delights and the Samoas.
Interesting.
So they were very similar, if not almost exactly the same.
Nice. So do you? But you like these?
Yes, I would say like 9 out of 10. For sure.
Okay. What's the point, Doc? For?
Because I like Thin Mints better. I don't know. Because like
Fair
if
enough.
I was, but like honestly, 10 out
Yeah.
of 10. They're not
Right,
but if I had to choose
then.
my all-time favorite one, it wouldn't be them.
No,
You know what I
that's
mean?
fair. These are also Papa's favorite. When we would get Girl Scout cookies, these are the ones that he really likes because he loves coconut. This man
Right.
will eat coconut cream pie and all types of stuff. I hate coconut, to be honest. Like the shavings, I've never had them just because I don't like coconut. So on vibes only, I'm giving it a 1 because I'd
Yeah.
try it, but I probably won't like it.
Yeah. Well, and my mom is very much like that. These are her favorite. She's a very big Almond Joy,
He does like those too.
the Mounds
Yeah.
bars, like coconut
Mhm.
vibes.
Can't
So,
do it.
Yeah. No,
But
I feel
everybody
that.
likes their thing. Yeah.
So I would say I didn't like them as much as a kid, but I like them now. So
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing too, your tastes change. So I wonder if I might actually like coconut now and I just haven't had it to retry it.
it's true. But if it's a texture thing, you probably won't like it.
I just feel like it doesn't have any flavor with the texture thing.
Yeah, Chris
know?
doesn't like coconut because of the texture. But if it's like in a drink or something,
He
then
won't.
he'll do it.
Right,
because it's,
that's kinda-
like,
yeah.
the flavoring,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's fair.
Okay. So do-si doughs or peanut butter sandwich, not to be confused with tagalongs
Mhm.
and the other one, peanut butter patties.
Mm-hmm.
These are the peanut butter cookies sandwich with peanut butter in between.
Think Nutter Butters.
Think Nutter Butters, exactly. Yes. So the crunchy oatmeal sandwich cookie. Oh, excuse me, oatmeal sandwich cookie with peanut
Yeah.
butter filling.
Yes. I love
Um,
these.
They're fine. I feel like they're kind of plain.
They are, but they are an oatmeal cookie in fairness.
Yeah. My dad
Yeah.
really likes these too. They're not my favorite. I've had them, but
Yeah,
they're not my
right.
favorite.
I like Nutter Butters, so these were kind of like a close second. So I give it an 8 out of 10.
I would do, I think a 5 out of 10.
No, that's
honestly.
fair. Yeah.
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 All right. Okay, so the Girl Scout s'more cookie. This is a crunchy graham sandwich cookies with chocolate and marshmallow filling. Think the like Oreo filling, but it's just chocolate and marshmallow.
Mm,
with like the two crunchy cookies on top. I've also had these and they're very good.
yeah.
Yeah, but they're very much like Oreo. Like if you've ever
Oh,
had the
really?
s'mores Oreos, that's kind of niche, I know, but like
Hmm.
it's very much like that.
I don't like marshmallows,
Hmm.
and I don't really like s'mores, but I'd get, I'd try it.
Yeah. I will say the marshmallow flavor is not very strong. It's more
What
like
about,
chocolate and vanilla, I
oh,
feel like
what about the
filling.
texture? It's
Oh, it's
just the
not a
Oreo filling?
texture. Oh, it's just like an Oreo
Ah,
cream filling. So it's more like if you were eating chocolate vanilla Oreo cream filling with like a cookie on top.
oh, okay, okay. So on vibes only, I'll tentatively give it a 7 out of 10.
Okay.
Because I think my problem with the marshmallow is the texture. Hate it. Like if it was without the texture and just the nice like vanilla flavor, I could get down with that.
Yeah. So it's not a texture, it's mostly just a cream. So
Love.
I give 8 out of 10 because it gives Oreo vibes. It's very good.
I do like Oreos.
Mhm. Okay. So these are lemonades. And Kirsten, since you're actively looking at the website,
Yeah.
what do these look like? Because there's two lemon cookies and they're both
Yes.
like very much the same.
Yeah, so these ones actually have the imprint of like when you look at a cross section of a lemon or a citrus fruit, it kind of looks
Mhm.
like that, but in a cookie, like embossed on it. And it just looks like a vanilla cookie, savory, refreshing shortbread cookie, and then it has that tangy lemon flavored icing. It says topped with, but on the picture it doesn't look like it's topped with anything, so I don't know. Maybe it's
Is
like
it
a clear.
is it the one that looks like a wedding cookie where it's got like powdered sugar on top? Or no, that's different.
It
No.
doesn't look like that to me.
No. Okay, never mind.
Nah,
Just kidding.
nah. JK.
Um, I don't know. I would probably give this like 3 out of 10. I don't know.
I'm kind of biased. Shortbread is one of my favorites, which we'll get to it. The trifles are actually one of my favorites. I love a good shortbread cookie. Also, kind of biased. My wedding cake was lemon. We love lemon. So I feel like these are a 9 out of 10 for me. I've never had them, but I'm going to go ahead and say I'm probably going to like it.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
I have also never had them.
Yeah.
All right, the next one is Lemon Ups, which are a crispy lemon cookie based or baked in it with an inspiring message on top.
Well, the one on the website says, I am a leader. So
Yeah.
that's super cute.
So I don't know.
I'm going to give it the same for me. It's not a
Yeah.
shortbread cookie, but it is a lemon cookie. So 8 out of
8 out
10.
of 10. 8 out of 10. Okay. So now we get to a fan favorite, the peanut butter
Mhm.
patties or the tagalongs. And these are the ones with the crispy cookie layered with peanut butter and then covered with the chocolate coating,
Mhm.
which I think is infinitely better than the do-si-do situation.
That's fair.
That's
That's
just my
fair.
opinion. I would give these, because I've had them before,
Hmm.
I would give these probably 8 out of 10. No, 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10.
Okay.
I would
Okay.
say.
I can say I've only had the tagalongs. I have not tried the peanut butter patties, but having talked to Tyler, these are his cookies, okay? Tagalongs are his cookies. If you ever want to wonder what he
Yeah.
wants, it's these,
Yeah.
okay?
Okay.
I can say our experience, they are not as synonymous as the Samoas and the Caramel Delights. So I'm gonna dock a couple points and say 7 out of 10 as well, just because the peanut butter patties are not slapping the same.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. It's weird.
It
I
is
feel
so
like,
weird.
well, and I feel like if we order them, like if we do this within a reasonable time frame, if we order them, we'll get the peanut butter patties and you guys can get the tagalongs and then we'll really like I've never had peanut butter patties, I've only had tagalongs. So,
Yeah, highly recommend if you have a
Also,
choice.
I think tagalongs are like the best name for a cookie ever.
Right? So cute. So
It's
stinking
so
cute.
good.
Yeah, I love it.
Mhm. Okay, so then we have the ultimate
Love. 10 out of 10.
thin mint
15
thin
out of
mint
10.
crisp chocolate cookies dipped in a delicious mint chocolatey coating.
You have to freeze them. If you're going to
You
eat
have
these,
to freeze
freeze them first.
I feel like it was a trend online to put them in like Dr. Pepper or something like that, and it was
Oh,
supposed
like
to
a
be
float?
really good. Yeah, I don't
Hmm.
know.
It could do.
Anyway, I only ever put them in the freezer if they
Mhm.
make it that long, honestly.
A
And
sleeve in a
then-
day.
Girl,
Yes.
I mean, who? Yeah,
That is the serving size. I don't know why they bother putting
right,
it's this
it's
many
like-
cookies.
it's the same with Oreos.
Yes, you have to eat a sleeve.
So yeah, Thin Mints are the best. Obviously, this is a 10 out of 10 for me.
10 out of 10.
Kirsten.
Agree.
Yeah.
These are my gateway.
That's right. That's right. Those cookies are worth being in the Girl Scouts, period.
They are. Well, and the thing too, you love, tell me if I'm wrong, you're the type of
Mhm.
girl that loves a mint chocolate chip ice cream. Like that's
Oh.
your deal, right?
Mint chocolate chip anything. It's my deal. I'm
Ironically,
obsessed.
I hate mint chocolate chip ice cream. Love these cookies to death. I don't
Yeah.
know what it is. I
I
think
don't-
it's the
it's
chocolate.
probably the flavoring
Yeah.
situation. You know, it's
Yeah.
just mild enough. It's not like super minty. It doesn't taste like toothpaste.
And that's the thing, guys. Like these, if you've never had a thin mint, it isn't toothpaste. If you've ever had like mint chocolate chip and you're like, I am literally eating toothpaste, it is
Yeah.
not like this. It's a very light, kind of in the back of your throat once you've already eaten it kind of flavor.
Mhm.
And the chocolate is just, oh, it's like
It's
a great
everything.
mix. Anyway,
Everything. Okay, so these are the next ones I've literally never heard of until I did this research.
Me
They're
neither.
called Toast Yays. which
yay!
are yummy toast-shaped cookies
Mm,
full of French toast flavor and dipped in delicious icing.
mm. I do like
Which
cinnamon
sounds
toast
really
crunch.
good. Vibes
Yeah.
are good.
Vibes are great. I'm gonna go on a limb and say I'm gonna like these. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10.
9 out of
love
10.
I love French Toast Crunch. Like that's a really great cereal. Is it full of sugar? Yes.
Yeah.
Does it make me a little ill after I've eaten a bowl? Yes. Would I still eat it? Yes.
Oh my God. So I went to summer camp one time.
Once one time
And-
at band camp.
No, but for real, this is how I discovered I like Cinnamon Toast Crunch because I'm
Oh.
not a cereal girl. Like I'm just not. I don't. It's the milk and the disgusting like mushiness that
My brain
happens.
just went cereal girl when it's material girl. I know that's like actually the sound. That's what my brain did.
That is going to be our what is it called? Our spoof.
Cereal
song.
girl.
But yes, so I was not. And then one summer I went to camp and they had those like disgusting powdered eggs for breakfast every morning.
What?
Or yeah,
Powdered eggs?
yeah. It's like
What?
you add a little bit of water and they like poof up and it's disgusting. They're so gross.
I didn't really like eggs growing up, so this is not surprising.
Yeah,
I wouldn't like it.
It was nasty. I didn't like it, so I would go through the line and just get Cinnamon Toast Crunch every day,
A
and just
forced
try.
habit.
I would not eat it with milk. It was just
Ugh.
like straight out of the
See,
thing.
This is why as an adult, I have really gotten down the milk to cereal ratio to a T, where it's not soggy and it like crunches the whole way. Oh, it's so good.
It's nasty.
We were definitely a cereal household. Like,
yeah.
and Tyler was too. So even
Yeah.
today, like I got Fruit Loops and Honey Nut Cheerios.
Yeah, Chris is all about it.
He's
He's about it. He loves a cereal. He eats it at
Oh.
night for dinner
honeycomb.
for dessert.
Oh, honeycomb cereal.
Ugh.
So good. You know what I didn't like was Captain Crunch. That was nasty.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, then I guess I'll just have to talk to Chris about it.
Yeah, I think you will. I think you will. A lot of people will die on Captain Crunch Hill, though.
Yeah, they will
they
because
love
it's
it.
already razor bladed their mouth shut. Yeah, die on the hill. You've gotten yourself there.
Yeah,
I was also that kid that didn't like the because I don't like marshmallows. I didn't like the marshmallows in Lucky Charms, so I would take the marshmallows out and eat the cereal.
You are literally the only one who did that.
I know. It wasn't a fad, I'll tell you
Kirsten
that.
was like, "Nope, this is too much fun. I can't be having this much fun." At 8 a.m.
Rainbows and silly balloons? Absolutely not.
I am a grown ass woman at the age of 12. This is not this is not for me.
Marshmallows in my cereal. Disgusting behavior. I was so boring.
This proves that Kirsten has always been a grandma and will continue to be a grandma.
Don't put fun in my cereal.
That's right.
Oh, anyway.
Can't be having that. All right, last two.
Okay.
number 11 is Toffee Tastic, which is gluten-free
Hmm.
and is a rich buttery cookie with sweet, crunchy toffee bits.
I'm sorry to go off on another tangent. Have you ever seen that video of the old couple trying to do the commercial? He goes, a crispy, buttery, flaky crisp. It
Yes.
cracks me up all the time.
Yes.
And when you said rich, buttery, I was like, flaky, freaky crust.
Yes.
Cracks me up every time.
You're so right.
Oh,
Um,
jeez.
But yeah, I think on vibes, let's do maybe I would say a 4 out of 3 out of 3. 4 out of
Wow. That's a new measurement.
4 out of 10.
Data-driven females.
That's right.
I'm gonna give it a 3. I don't really like toffee. I feel like I might like a butter cookie.
Well, and I
butter
feel like
cookie.
it would be like the cookie itself is probably really like crunchy. I don't know.
Oh, ooh, 2 out of 10.
Yeah.
You've lost me.
I don't know. I've never had them, but that's just the vibe I'm getting.
I don't like how porous it looks. Can I just talk about if you have like what is that thing where you don't like holes? I would not look at that.
Yeah.
I
Oh my
would not.
God.
Don't look at this cookie. Don't look at this cookie. It'll look you in the eye as well. I don't like
Ew.
it.
All right. And the last one, the classic, the
10 out of 10.
true trifoils, which are the iconic shortbread cookie with the Girl Scout logo on it.
Yes.
And
Love.
they are the OG.
Mhm.
So Kirsten would give 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. It's such a good cookie.
I'm going
yeah.
to say, I would say maybe like 6 out of 10. I don't know.
I'll caveat it. I'll say one thing. So this is one of the ones that there's like one type. There's trifoils and then there's shortbread cookies. Okay.
Oh.
And I will say that whatever company does the peanut butter patties does super dusty trifoils. They're a little dry. So if you're in that factory, your shortbread's a little dry. You need to it's a little I opened the
Did you-
pack and I am now a desert.
Maybe you guys just got old cookies somehow.
They're made once a year.
I know, but
that's
maybe
not an
you just-
excuse.
maybe they got through. I don't know.
No, they're a little dusty. Okay. If I have to drink something with the cookie, I've messed up. Okay.
It's fair. It's fair.
They are good though. They're not as good
Yeah.
as the originals, but whatever. It's
What are
fine.
you gonna do?
What you gonna do? I don't live in
What
the
you
region.
gonna do? We don't
What you
know.
gonna do with all that? We're not okay.
No. No. No.
Well, this has
All
been
right.
so enlightening.
Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I enjoyed researching this episode.
And
Um,
we will do the stream thing. 'Cause I think that's a
An
great
excuse to buy
idea.
Girl Scout cookies? Obsessed.
Obsessed, and to eat them on live. I was about to say television. We're not that famous.
On television.
on live on Twitch.
As all intents and purposes, to your grandma, this is television. So.
That's actually pretty accurate. And to all my little brothers as well. It's practically
right.
television.
Yeah, no, exactly.
So yeah, and also we'd love to see you there, but we'd also love to hear from you as well. If you've tried some of the ones we haven't, or if you were interested in trying some that you'd never heard of, let us the frick know. We want to know. We'd love to debate with you. It's part of what we love to do with each other, so why not bring in other friends? Put it in the comments or our DMs of Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. You'll catch us at Mediocre Content. You can also email us if you want to, mediocrecontentpodcast@gmail.com. And then every other Thursday on Twitch. When this episode comes out, we will actually be live this Thursday over on Twitch. Same handle, and that's at 3 p.m. PST, 6 p.m. EST, 11 p.m. BST. Pick the time zone that makes the most sense to you. Rate us 5 stars wherever you listen to podcasts, and we will see you next week.
This has been Mediocre Content.
Thanks so much for listening. Cheers!
Cheers.